Hey everybody, well, we're at again over here at Pawnee Grasslands, over here in northeastern Colorado. If you haven't been here yet, you ought to come check it out because it's pretty amazing. We're talking about 1 hour or so just east of Fort Collins area. So we're pretty close to Cheyenne and Nebraska border there at this point. Today's kind of special because my buddy has the 2024 GASGAS ES500. And let me tell you, that thing is a beast and does not disappoint. So I'm really excited to ride that a little bit longer today. As you guys probably figured out by now, I got the 24 GASGAS EC300, which is a great bike. But I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison ride today and just kind of share that with you and show you what this ES500 is all about. Okay, so before I go talking about the ES500 and hop on the saddle, I want to tell you a little bit about Pawnee and why I'm here so much this time of year. Because everything else in Colorado, at least in the northern part, is closed because of the snow. So this is the only place really open between November and April. So what is Pawnee? Basically, it's on the eastern plains and it was formed by a bunch of erosion over countless years. So I call it a ditch in the prairie because it's essentially what it is. But it's a pretty cool geological feature to go ride in. So we have a lot of fun there. It's about just over 1 square mile, I'd say, maybe 2 square miles, somewhere in between there. But it's got a bunch of little slot canyons, little jumps and bumps and humps and things like that. So you see a lot of youngsters out there too, just kind of cruising around and on their little Pee-wee 50 bikes. So real neat area. That's why we're here shooting this video. Before I get too in depth about the 2024 GASGAS ES500, I have to tell you a little bit of backstory. Actually, when I moved here to Colorado, my bike that I had bought brand new was a 2022 GASGAS EX350F, and I loved the bike. It was fast. I think it boasted 47 horsepower. It had gobs of power. The power on that bike came in kind of late though. And so I had this preconceived notion that when I hop on the ES500, it's going to kind of feel the same way the 350 did. But I was wrong. The 350 on the 500, the power came on much sooner than expected. So that was pretty cool. It didn't quite feel like my 300cc two-stroke, but it did have that low-end grunt. It had that, what I like to call, tractor ability. So if I'm going up a steep hill slowly, the 500 tractored up it quite well. On my older 350, the 22 model, it didn't like that. I even dropped it a tooth in the front, and it which helped, but it wasn't perfect. So the 500, the first impression I got riding it Power-wise, it has great low-end power, to my surprise. So that was really cool to discover that.
Work our way down.
The other thing I want to bring up about the power delivery on the 500 is it is extremely strong. It pulls really hard at the higher RPM. So when that thing starts to wake up, it just pulls from you pretty good. So of course, how does this compare to the EC300? Well, let's just say this. Like the first couple hundred feet, I might be ahead, but that thing will start pulling away pretty quick. The 500 will anyway. That's just what it does. That's a big motor. I don't know how much horsepower it is. I think it's somewhere in the low 50s. And that's just what those bikes are kind of designed to do, is just to pull real hard. So the 300, it just kind of, I wouldn't say it peters out at that higher RPM range, but it's just not as aggressive as the 500. And I also put that to the test on the Husky 501 as well, where it just pulls away from me. So there's a couple of videos I have on YouTube you could watch over here at Pawnee, where I'm kind of drag racing with those guys, and yeah, I can't keep up. The 300 is a great bike in just about every aspect, but when it comes to drag racing, I will say that those half-liter dirt bikes do win. So something that I did not expect, because I would say my bike is a little bit lighter, but I don't know. So it's just kind of one of those things I had to see for myself.
Oh, a little bit better, like 20 feet. Yeah, somewhere on the right there's a jump. Kind of scary. Have a piece. There you go. I'll find the best way down. I don't know.
So, are there differences between the ES500 and the EC300? Well, that's an obvious one because the answer is yes. But first, check out these views, man. This is pretty crazy. It just looks awesome. I didn't know places like this existed here in Colorado, but I was wrong. So, glad I discovered it. So anyway, what I like, the difference between the two are pretty obvious. So with the 500, that thing just kind of rattles your world a little bit. I mean, if you're sitting on that bike and it's idling, you can feel the vibrations through your feet. You can feel them through the handlebars. And if you're looking out in the distance, like, your world is just shaking. And I mean that literally. It vibrates quite a bit. That's just like a 500 thing, those big bore bikes. My 300, super well balanced. Like hardly any noticeable vibration. So that is one thing I really like about the 300 is how smooth it is. The second thing I notice is the suspension. I just think mine is more plush, soft. But then again, it's kind of hard to compare the two because the ES500 is like an on-road, off-road dirt bike. Mine is just like an enduro style bike. So, it's probably more along those lines is why it's just set up a little bit differently. The other is the 300, and this is just my preference. The power comes on a lot sooner, so you see me in this video do like little pop wheelies here and there. That's just, it's got a lot of low-end power, and that's what I like. That's what I want, and a lot of the trails out here, like Red Cone Pass, up off 70, and, Heart Attack Hill up here in northern Colorado. This is the bike for the job, the 300, so that's why I have it, and not a 4-stroke. But anyway, those are the few things I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Enjoy your day. Happy New Year, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Nothing.